10 trucks built in the 1990s are selling for prices that would have seemed absurd just 5 years ago. Not collector cars, not restored showpieces, working trucks, the kind your grandfather drove to a job site every morning and parked in the dirt without a second thought. Right now, in 2026, private buyers are paying $30,000, $40,000, sometimes $60,000 for these vehicles. Dealers cannot keep them on their lots, and the reason is not nostalgia. The reason is that the trucks being built today cannot do what these trucks did. That is the story. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly which 10 trucks those are, what each one is actually worth on today's market, and why the crisis in modern truck reliability is directly driving this gold rush back to the 90s. If you own one of these trucks, or if one is sitting in a field somewhere in your family, stay until the end. What you are about to hear could change what you think that vehicle is worth. The American truck market is in a strange and contradictory moment right now. New trucks are being listed at $70,000, $80,000, sometimes $90,000. Monthly payments on a fully loaded pickup have crossed $1,100 for buyers on standard financing terms, and yet, according to J.D. Power's 2025 Vehicle Dependability Study, owner-reported problems on full-size trucks have increased for the third consecutive year. Buyers are paying more and getting less reliability. That gap, that specific gap between price paid and durability delivered, is exactly what is pushing serious truck buyers back toward vehicles built before the era of turbochargers, direct injection complexity, and 8-speed transmission software updates. The trucks we are about to cover were built during what many independent mechanics now refer to as the last honest era of American truck manufacturing. Simple architecture, engines designed for longevity, frames built with metal that was not optimized down to the minimum required thickness, parts that a competent owner could still diagnose without a dealer's proprietary scan tool. These trucks did not just survive the 90s, they are surviving right now in 2026, and the market is noticing. The first truck on this list is not the most valuable. It is the second most valuable. And the reason it ranks second is because what comes later is going to completely reframe everything you think you know about this market. The 1993 to 1998 Toyota T100 is currently trading in the range of $18,000 to $28,000 for clean, low-mileage examples. According to data from major auction platforms and private sale listings tracked through 2025 and into early 2026, this is a truck that was dismissed when it was new. Automotive press at the time called it undersized, underpowered, and overpriced for what it offered. Toyota sold fewer than 40,000 units annually throughout most of its production run. That limited supply is now one of the primary drivers of its value. The 3.4-liter 5-cylinder and later the 3.4-liter V6 in these trucks have proven in documented real-world usage to routinely reach 250,000 miles with basic maintenance. Owners on forums dedicated to this vehicle regularly post odometer screenshots showing 300,000 miles on original engines. You cannot say that about most trucks built in 2022, and it gets worse for buyers of modern trucks. The 1992 to 1997 Ford F-Series with the 300 cubic inch inline-six is a truck that mechanics across the country call the closest thing to an indestructible engine ever installed in an American production vehicle. Cast iron block, simple fuel delivery, minimal electronic interference, a compression ratio that was built for durability rather than fuel economy optimization. Clean examples with documented service history are now selling between $15,000 and $22,000 through private sales. Trucks that left factory lots for under $14,000 new. The inline-six in these trucks was discontinued not because it failed, but because tightening fuel economy regulations made its design economically inconvenient for Ford to continue producing. That decision, made in a corporate conference room, is now costing buyers of new trucks who are discovering that the EcoBoost engines that replace this architecture are generating NHTSA complaint volumes that the old inline six never approached in its entire production life. According to NHTSA records, the 2.7-liter and 3.5-liter EcoBoost have accumulated thousands of owner complaints related to carbon buildup, timing chain failures, and coolant intrusion, issues that simply did not exist in the architecture of the old 306. The 1988 to 1998 Chevrolet C and K Series trucks with the 350 small block V8 deserve their place at the center of this conversation. These are the trucks most people picture when they hear the phrase real truck. The TBI, or throttle body injected 350, is an engine that mechanics describe as almost deliberately simple. It can be fully rebuilt with basic hand tools and parts available at any auto parts store in the country. No proprietary components, no dealer-locked calibration, no software required to complete a repair. Rust-free examples from the Southwest and Mountain West states are now commanding prices between $16,000 and $26,000 in private sales. Fleet managers who operate in rough terrain are specifically seeking out these trucks because the total cost of ownership over 5 years is genuinely lower than operating a new truck under warranty. When factoring in the downtime costs associated with modern truck complexity failures, that is not opinion. That is the calculation being made by people who move equipment for a living. If you want to keep getting investigations like this one, the kind that cost hundreds of hours of cross-referencing auction data, NHTSA records, and mechanic interviews, subscribe to Motor Crisis Watch right now. We post a new investigation every week, and the next one covers something that is happening inside dealership service departments that your service writer is not going to volunteer. The 1993 to 1998 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ80, technically an SUV but functioning as the most capable truck platform of its era, is now selling for between $40,000 and $70,000 for clean, well-documented examples. Some exceptional low-mileage specimens are crossing the $80,000 mark. The 4.5-liter inline six in these vehicles has a documented reputation supported by owner testimonials across multiple continents, where these trucks are still used for serious off-road and commercial applications, for reaching 400,000 miles without major mechanical failure when properly maintained. Toyota has not offered a comparably simple, similarly capable platform at any price point in more than a decade. The market has noticed. The price reflects it. The 1994 to 2001 Dodge Ram with a Cummins 5.9-liter 1.2 valve diesel is the truck that professional buyers treat like an investment vehicle. This is not an exaggeration. The 1.2 valve Cummins, produced during this specific window before the addition of electronic controls mandated by emissions regulations, is considered by diesel mechanics to be one of the most durable compression ignition engines ever installed in a consumer vehicle. Mechanically injected, no emissions equipment to fail, no diesel particulate filter to clog, no DEF system to maintain. Clean examples are now routinely transacting above $30,000 in private sales, with exceptional specimens reaching $45,000. Buyers in agricultural communities and among owner-operators who need a work truck they can repair themselves are specifically targeting this generation and this engine. The window for finding one at a reasonable price is closing. Prices have increased approximately 22% over the past 18 months based on tracked auction data. The 1991 to 1997 Toyota Land Cruiser 80 series in its base trim, the version sold as a practical truck in markets outside the United States and imported here in growing numbers through legal gray market channels, represents a value that most American buyers have not yet recognized, but they are learning. Import examples with full documentation are moving between $25,000 and $45,000. The pattern is identical to what happened with Japanese domestic market pickup trucks before that market became widely understood. The 1996 to 2002 Toyota 4Runner with a 3.4-liter V6, the last generation of this nameplate before the platform shifted to a fundamentally different architecture, is selling between $18,000 and $32,000 for clean examples. The specific appeal here is mechanical. The 5VZ FE engine in this generation is one of the most well-documented high-mileage power plants in Toyota's history. Owner complaints filed with NHTSA for this generation engine are minimal. Compare that to complaints filed for certain later Toyota truck engines, where the documentation tells a very different story about long-term durability under stress. The 1997 to 2003 Ford F250 and F350 with a 7.3-liter Power-Stroke diesel is the truck that needs the least explanation to anyone who has spent time in a serious work environment. Every diesel mechanic in the country knows this engine. The 7.3 Power-Stroke, manufactured by Navistar during this production window, has an established track record of extreme longevity when maintained. Prices for clean, rust-free examples with low miles have climbed past $35,000 in competitive markets. Fleet managers who operated these trucks in the early 2000s and held on to them are discovering that they own something more valuable than many vehicles sold new last year. The irony is not lost on anyone paying attention to what modern diesel trucks are costing to maintain past 100,000 miles. The 1988 to 1997 Toyota pickup, known in other markets as the Hilux, during part of this period, is perhaps the single most coveted vehicle in this entire category among buyers who understand what they are looking at. Clean examples, specifically the extended cab configurations with the 22R3 VZ-V6 engine and four-wheel drive, have transacted above $40,000 in California, Colorado, and the Pacific Northwest. Base examples in good condition are moving at $20,000 to $30,000. The NHTSA complaint record for the 22RE engine family is essentially non-existent relative to total vehicles produced, which is a metric that tells you everything you need to know about how that engine was engineered and how it is held up. Toyota no longer produces anything architecturally similar to this truck at any price point in the American market. The most valuable truck in this entire category, and the one that most people will not see coming, is the 1992 to 1999 GMC Sierra and Chevrolet Silverado C3500 crew cab dually with the 454 big block. Specifically, the examples built for fleet and commercial service with minimal options and heavy-duty drivetrain components. These trucks were not popular when new, they were not glamorous. They were ordered by municipalities, construction companies, and farms that needed a truck to move weight and keep moving. Rust-free examples from Arizona, Nevada, and New Mexico are now transacting between $28,000 and $48,000. The 7.4-liter big block in these trucks is an engine designed with zero concession to fuel economy optimization. It was designed to pull heavy loads in high heat for high mileage without catastrophic failure. That design philosophy does not exist in modern truck manufacturing at any price point from any manufacturer currently selling in the United States. Here's what this entire list tells you. The trucks commanding the highest prices in 2026 share exactly three characteristics. Simple mechanical architecture that a competent owner can service without proprietary tools. Engines designed before emissions regulations forced manufacturers to add complexity that created new failure modes, and production volumes low enough or regional distributions specific enough that clean examples are genuinely scarce. Those three characteristics describe trucks that were built when manufacturers competed primarily on durability because buyers had no other expectation. That era ended The trucks built after it ended are sitting on dealer lots with $90,000 stickers and 5-star complexity ratings that have produced NHTSA complaint databases full of owner testimonials about engines that failed before the loan was paid off. This is the kind of investigation no dealership wants you to see. Subscribe to Motor Crisis Watch, because next week we are going inside the hidden fee structure that dealers are embedding in certified pre-owned contracts right now. Fees that are adding thousands of dollars to transactions that buyers believe they have already negotiated. Share this video with anyone you know who owns one of the trucks on this list or who is thinking about buying a new truck in 2026. The information in this video could save them from a decision they will be paying for, literally, for the next 7 years.